I thought it would be fun to go over the things that I wore last week and give you a little bit of backstory into why it matters to me. When I was 11, my mom let me use the sewing machine and I started making my own clothes. And I continued to make my own clothes from the time I was 11 into my 20s when I got married and had kids. And I even made some clothes for the kids when they were little. But over time, as anybody who sews knows, fabric got really expensive and it became just kind of crazy to do your own sewing. But I love fashion. I love design. I loved creating things that you couldn't find anywhere else. And I've always loved clothes. This first look was natural fibers. I try to find natural fibers as much as possible. I think it's healthier to put them on your body. They're cooler in the summertime. And I just think it's better for the environment. But if you're like me and you've been trying to find natural cottons and linens, they're hard to find and they're expensive. So I sprinkle them in as much as I can, but I can't always find them. But this first look was a linen look, and I enjoyed wearing it. I got it from the Gap, and it was a vest with a matching long skirt. And then I've been using a lot of headbands lately. You'll see those a lot over the week because my hair is growing out. And I had treatments last year that made the back of it all fall out. And so I've been struggling with my hair, so I've been doing what I can to look cute in the meantime. This next look was fun. I also like bright colors. I've heard them tell people that are over 50 to stop wearing the bright colors, that it ages us, but they make me happy. So I'm going to do what makes me happy. And I like a bright pop of orange in the summertime with daisies covering it. It just makes me smile. So I'm opting for what makes me smile. And if it makes me look older or if it makes me look my age, I don't really care. So that's what I think about that. The beauty of being at this later age is I don't have to do what people tell me that I should do. I can do exactly what I want. Last week was my birthday, and I wore this outfit out for drinks with a couple of girlfriends, and I felt comfortable, I felt cool, and I felt really pretty. So it hit all the boxes for me. I really enjoyed this dress. This may have been my favorite dress of the week. I love to wear dresses in the summertime. I find them to be one of the most comfortable ways to dress and still feel feminine and pretty at the same time. Yes, I know that Temu is fast fashion and is not the most ethical way to buy your clothes, but they have so many cute things and they're so inexpensive. I'm on a budget. I'm a dog walker, and I don't want to have all my clothes be at the thrift store. My thrift store has a lot of old ratty things and there's not a lot of gems there. So I'm not really apologizing for Temu because there is no apology. Yes, I could avoid them if I wanted to, but I am buying things that I love and I'm wearing them and I'm trying to be responsible about it. And that's my take on Temu. A lot of the dresses I do get from Temu. You know, the funny thing about all these animals that photobomb in my outfit of the day videos is I don't even notice that they're doing it while I'm filming. I never even see them until later when I'm editing and preparing the videos to upload. And in almost all of them, there's Butch standing by my side watching my outfits, or in quite a few of them, Mary will be in the doorway looking in. And it's just funny seeing how much they pay attention to what I'm doing and how fascinating I must be to them. So when I heard that jorts, with a J, were going to be the hot shorts for summer, I laughed. I laughed out loud because I just thought, why can't we call them jean shorts? That was just the most ridiculous name I had ever heard. And then I did a little bit of reading about it and watched some videos, and apparently jorts with a J, Jorts, are Bermuda length shorts that are cut off that are made out of denim. And so I thought, well, I'm trying to lose some weight, so I've got some jeans that aren't going to fit, hopefully, in the fall and next winter. And they were loose. They were a wider leg. And I thought, I'm going to cut those off myself, because when I started pricing jorts and I looked around, I couldn't find any that were under $60. And I thought, nope, I'm not doing that. So these shorts that I was wearing in the last frame, my jorts, I did that myself because I was not going to pay a whole bunch of money for something that was only going to be good for one season. This linen jumpsuit I got from the Gap, I think the Gap factory store, and I love it. It's a linen blend, and I think this will be in style for several seasons. So I thought it was a good buy. This perfume that I'm showing over and over again, I just love. It was about $30. I got it on Amazon. It's called Blush. It's one of those Arabian oil-based perfumes, and it just smells so lovely. But I enjoyed that last week as well. These earrings I'm still wearing. I started wearing them last week, and I've just been wearing them every day. They're real pearls with little CZ accent studs, and they're just so versatile that I've been wearing them over and over again. I've been wearing them, what do they call it, on repeat? And then same thing with the necklace, the paperclip necklace with the little pearl drop. I've been wearing that as well because it just seems to go with everything. And I love a little sparkle. I often, when I'm buying jewelry, I look for a couple things. I want it to be at least 14 karat gold plated. It used to be you could buy 14 karat real gold, but it's just so expensive now. I'm not going to do that. But the 14 karat gold plating, though the plating has gotten so much better over the last few years than it was, say, 20 years ago, where it would wear off. It doesn't really wear off anymore. I have some that I've had for 4 or 5 years, and I've worn them on repeat over and over and over again. And the gold is still shiny. It hasn't worn off in places. And so I think the quality of the costume jewelry has really improved. This dress is one that I am going to be wearing later that day because I have clients that were kind enough to invite me out to dinner to honor me for my birthday. It was a belated birthday dinner, and we had such a nice time. And I wore that dress, and I felt beautiful in it. It was just a simple Ralph Lauren dress that I picked up at Poshmark. And I had some strappy, high-heeled shoes that I bought that I've been wanting to wear. But let me tell you, when I put those shoes on, I learned I cannot walk in high heels anymore. I'm not giving up on them for good. I still have the shoes. I'm going to need to practice. I'm going to need to have some little trial runs, but I didn't want to take them. We were going to a P.F. Chang's at the mall, and I thought, there's no way I want to look ridiculous trying to cross that parking lot, teeter-tottering on these high heels. I'm so out of practice from wearing high heels. I'm a dog walker, and I wear tennis shoes every day, or I wear athletic sandals every day. And occasionally I might wear a shoe with a low heel, but I've just gotten so out of the habit of wearing heels. And then, after recovering from my surgery last year, I didn't want to trip and fall. So I have been prioritizing comfort and safety over style in the shoe department. But I'm not sure that I'm ready to give up on high heels altogether. So the jury is still out on the high heels. I don't have a ton of high heels, but I do have a few gorgeous pairs. I just don't really go out to dinner much, and I haven't been dating, so I haven't really had a need for a high-heeled shoe. And so I have gotten completely out of practice. But there will have to be a part 2 on the high heels because I'm not giving up yet. It's hard for me to decide if this is my favorite dress or if the lacy blue dress is my favorite dress. This one was by far the most comfortable, prettiest that I looked for a combo of comfort and pretty. It was very feminine, it was flowy, it wasn't tight anywhere, but it still showed off my shape. I belted it to show that I had a waist, and I put a little sweater on over it to give my shoulders a little bit of warmth in the morning. But I love this dress. And I went out for coffee in it, and I felt good, and people stopped and said hello to me, and it was a winner of the week, probably. In fact, when I went out for coffee in it, there was a man that kept smiling at me, and I smiled back but didn't pay much attention to him. And when I left, I accidentally left my phone and my wallet. My phone is in a wallet case, and I left it. And I got all the way home before I realized that I had left my phone behind. And so when I came rushing in the door, that same man who had been looking at me said, I grabbed your wallet. He said, I didn't want anybody to get it, and I gave it to the people working the counter, so it's safe. He said, don't worry, it's safe. But he had been watching out for me to return. And so I think it was that dress. I definitely think that it pays to look as good as possible and to always be nice to people because you never know who's watching or what's going to happen. I hope you enjoyed this recap, and I hope you have a fantastic week. I'll see you next week.